What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. I'd like to invite you guys to really experience a product that I myself would never recommend to you unless I was using it myself, and that's Tiege Hanley. Tiege Hanley currently is offering 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Make sure you tap in. Link is in the description. They also giving you a free gift. It is a phenomenal product. I've been using it for a long time. They've been a long time sponsor of the show. Tiege Hanley Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. That link is in the description. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Make sure you support the sponsor of the show. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Again, thank you for tuning in for the Millionaire Morning Show. It is Monday, May 13th, 2024, year of our Lord. And we got another show in order to rock with y'all today. Make sure y'all tapping in. What's going on, friends and family? I got a full show, not a half a show, a full show available for you guys. And I hope you guys are absolutely positively geared up and ready to get it popping off. It's a lot that was going on. Have y'all heard about this whole thing that's called the blockout movement, as far as blocking out celebrities and certain influencers like Kim K and stuff like that? I've been reading about that. I think that that's pretty interesting. We got a lot going on. What's up, Osriel? What's up, Kay Cooper? I got a lot of sleep over the weekend, so I'm excited because I'm fully engaged and I'm absolutely positively getting it in. Shout out to my first super chatter of the day, P. Shank. Shout out to P. Shank. P. Shank in the building. Thank you, P. Shank. Says, good morning, Mr. Anton Daniels and the Millionaire Morning Show. You've always supported the platform. Hey, let me get a mental health check. One word in the chat. Mental health check in the chat of how y'all feeling. How y'all see things. Thank you, P. Shank. Always supporting. Let me go ahead and acknowledge a couple of the super chats. And then the cash apps. Let me acknowledge the cash apps first. Let's get the cash apps. First and foremost, I want to shout out to my dog, Mike That Dude. Shout out to Mike That Dude. Thank you, Mike That Dude, for supporting and holding me down. I absolutely appreciate you. And then shout out to Michael also. I appreciate you too, Michael. Thank you, my friend. Mike That Dude has always been a long-time supporter of the show. And then everybody that's in the chat. Let me see what's happening. Blessed, Groovy, Connie is in the building. Great sleep is a tell me about it. I slept 3 days straight, getting 8 hours of sleep. I thought that I was going to lose my mind. Amazing, blessed, great, clarity, thankful, peaceful, marvelous, awesome, mellow, amazing, morning all, blessed, phenomenal, salute, what up, what up, what up? I see y'all rested, amazing, grateful, fried. Messy says she fried. Shout out to Messy being fried. I see some more resteds in the chat. Clarity, thankful, peaceful, lifted, sensational, hurting. What are you hurting about? Hopefully it's from the gym. Focused, driven, good, lifted. Winning, says my dog from the Miami-Dade County Clerk of the Courts. Divinely favored, grateful, chilling. The Wealth Building Journey says, what's going on to Anton and the Bag Chasers? Rested, resting. It's Monday. We got to get it popping. Chill, says my dog. Missed a lot. How many of y'all actually tapped into After Hours over the weekend? It was a great show. We got the Q show tonight. And then I also dropped a Patreon exclusive video as promised yesterday. I did that for y'all. I did that for the Mother's Days. And we got that popping off. So that was absolutely awesome. And it was a lot of information in that. I actually broke down and spoke to how I almost became a millionaire. Almost, but not quite. And I fumbled it. How I almost became a millionaire. I broke down what my first business was, how we was able to leverage into the market, how we created a market for ourselves, how we had both an e-commerce strategy and we had a foot traffic strategy as far as hitting the streets. And then I also took y'all through 3 different properties that I own, 2 of them that you've never seen before. So if you are not a bag chaser, if you're not a Patreon member, we got Stock Club this week. I was about to say Fight Club. We got Stock Club this week. If you are not a bag chaser, if you're not a Patreon member, you are severely missing out. You missing out incredibly. And I got another Patreon video dropping this weekend, and it's going to go even deeper into the financial space, except I'm going to break it down from a spousal perspective as far as how you guys can put your spouse in a position to actually be a benefit to you and not just have to go out and work for other people, but ultimately they can come back and work for you. Because it's not just about making money. It's a whole lot more to that. So I got that video dropping this weekend on the Patreon in detail with receipts as usual. I dropped the video that we got on the Patreon that you guys need to go and watch today. We got Stock Club this week, and it's so much more. So make sure y'all tapping into the Patreon. If y'all have not already, it is an awesome video, and I can't wait to continue to add more value into your lives. Make sure y'all follow me on all of my social media platforms. Those is in the description. I will never, ever have an alternative platform or some backup account. If you guys are being reached out to people that are out here pretending like they me, I'm doing my best to get them up out of here, but y'all got to do y'all part too and stay vigilant, because that's not me. It's not me. I will never ask you to invest in Bitcoin. I will never ask you to send me money to invest. I will never do any of that, right? So y'all know how I rock. Y'all know how I get down. Make sure y'all tapping into the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me read a couple of more super chats, and then we're going to get started with the show because we got a lot to cover on a Monday. Sam of the God says, I'm officially a father. Let me get a round of applause for Sam of the God. My daughter, 7, Denise Phillips, is my biggest blessing. Let it drive you. I remember having my daughter, and I was the first person to hold her. And I was looking out the window, and I had declared that day that I would never, ever let her feet touch the ground. So shout out to you. Congratulations, my friend. Let me get a congratulations in the chat for my dog, Sam of the God, and all of the chasers continuing to win and run it up. The Gray Way is in the building, says, shaking my head, AD, why would you laugh like that on that teacher that was fired reaction video? I started to do that video today, but I wound up dropping it on the Anton Daniels yesterday. That junk was hilarious. The dude, maybe we'll review it tomorrow. It's not a part of what I got put together today, or maybe we'll pivot and we'll do that today too, depending on how much time that we got left. But we're gonna try to keep time. But that junk was hilarious. Dude was out there. All of my besties. Oh my God. Boy, if you don't keep them kids up out of your hair from out there braiding your hair, getting yourself fired. All right, y'all. I will continue to read super chats throughout the show. Make sure you send this to your friends and family, because we don't want to be successful and rich by ourselves. We are the greatest show on the face of this earth. And let's go ahead and get it in. All right, y'all. Y'all know what we do. Y'all know how we get down. Y'all know what the word is. What do we start off with? We start off with quick hits, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it popping. Quick Hits is a segment of the show that we don't necessarily think that we have to talk extensively about every single subject, but we just want to kind of keep y'all up to date before we get started with the show. We want to keep y'all up to date of what's happening out in these streets, man. So first things first on Quick Hits. An off-duty Philly police officer was robbed for his gun. They captured the suspects, but they're still looking for more. Check it out.
Tonight, authorities have this man behind.
Oh, no, hold on. I always like to play the video first. But come on, man. Come on, bro. Y'all can't be out here dread-headed with wife beaters on and joggers out here robbing Philadelphia police officers. Before we even get started with the show, y'all can't be out here looking reckless like this. What is going on in the United States of America right now? I got to keep time. Come on, y'all. Let's just keep going.
Behind bars. He's accused of attacking and robbing an off-duty officer of his personal firearm in North Philadelphia. Still, police say there are more people they want to speak with. Sunday night, I'm Walter Perez. The big story is the arrest of an armed and dangerous man, but investigators are still asking for the public's help finding other people who may have been involved. In fact, authorities have released several photos of numerous people taken during and after the violent confrontation.
Look at those people. Hold on. Okay. Because listen, y'all, I'm going to say 90% of the videos that we wind up using as a reference, most of the time I'm seeing them for the first time that y'all seeing them, okay? Look at these people. Look at the other culprits. It's all women. All looking like they under duress. All looking crazy. And those are the other people that they're looking for. All of them look like they crying. And on Mother's Day? Jesus Christ.
Action News reporter Charles Watson joins us live from police headquarters with details tonight. Charles.
Yeah, Walter, officers in the 25th District arrested the male suspect in this case in Kensington this afternoon. Now,
Only the
Philadelphia
man
police
got
say
arrested.
they need the public's help to locate several women who allegedly helped the suspect get away after he assaulted and robbed an off-duty Philadelphia police officer. Get a good look at the women in these photos. They're wanted by Philadelphia police after the women allegedly prevented an off-duty Philadelphia police officer from detaining a male suspect who police say assaulted the officer and robbed him of his personal firearm. It all unfolded shortly after 7 this morning on the 2100 block of West Oxford Street in North Philadelphia. Police say the off-duty officer, who is assigned to the 22nd District, was able to disarm the male suspect of his own weapon before discharging it in an act of self-defense. These women allegedly got involved, helping the suspect, who may go by the nickname Duke, get into a black BMW that police say he hit the off-duty officer with before fleeing the scene.
Let this be a lesson for the ladies. Let this be a very, very, very important lesson for the ladies. I believe that these people need to be charged to the fullest extent of the law for helping homeboy, because I always say one of the biggest things that's wrong with the community is the fact that we all know who the jack boys, who the robbers are, who the problem people are. We all know who the issue is. We all know. But we never, ever hold them accountable, and then we get mad when our neighborhoods is all messed up and, you know, the dudes that's committing all of the crimes is doing all of the stuff. And so they don't just not report them. They also help them in a bed and aid them and keep them a place to stay and make sure that they clothed and fed and getting bust down. I think that every last one of them women need to be charged to the fullest extent of the law.
Law enforcement arrested the suspect at G and Hilton Streets in Kensington this afternoon. In addition to these women, police are also seeking to identify and interview the individuals seen here in these photos.
More people.
However, it's unclear at the moment what their connection is to this case. And at this hour, we do not know the condition of that off-duty officer. Philadelphia police have not said whether or not that officer was injured. They do tell us they are trying to locate the officer's personal weapon in addition to those persons of interest who we showed you in those photos. If you know anything about this case, specifically the whereabouts or identities of those individuals, you're asked to give police a call. For now, we're live in front of police headquarters. And Charles Watson for Action News at 10 on PHL 17. Walter.
All right, thank you.
And that's unfortunate, again, because we always have us supporting the worst things for us, but we never want to support the thing that we're supposed to do. And so you got all of these guys and all of these girls, and they all out here doing dumb stuff. We're going to get to a story where a woman actually turned her daughter in a little later, but that's to come. But they all doing dumb stuff, and they all fumble in the bag, and you're going to be right along with them because you're going to get caught up in this nonsense. Let's continue. In addition to that, ladies and gentlemen, over on Chicago's, well, I don't know which side, northwest side as usual. Chicago's northwest side over by the Loop. They said that the police is searching for some young people, teens, that basically got into a confrontation and it led to somebody getting jumped and stabbed right out where the tourists be. Let's take a look.
News off the top at 10. Chicago police are searching for a group of people they say jumped a teenager at Dearborn and Lake and stabbed him. Tonight, the 15-year-old victim is being treated at Lurie Children's Hospital, and we're told police are asking local businesses to share surveillance video, if they have it, of the attack. CBS 2's Andrew Ramos live for us in the Loop with the latest tonight. Andrew?
Well, Joe, certainly a terrifying situation where many were out and about here in the Loop this afternoon, enjoying their Mother's Day. Theater goers even leaving a show at the Goodman Theater at the time this 15-year-old was attacked and stabbed in the neck. It all happening in broad daylight.
We came out here for Mother's Day and we're finding out someone got stabbed. Like, that's just super sad.
A picturesque day turns violent in the Loop. It was just after 4:30 p.m.
Chicago is supposed to be really the beacon of the Midwest. Chicago is supposed to be like, you know, when you go to Chicago and you in the Midwest, that's supposed to be like New York. New York is trash, though. It's supposed to be like the LA of the West. Well, LA is trash. But the point that I'm making is that these cities are supposed to be beacons of greatness and awesomeness. And they're literally the poster child for how you're not supposed to conduct yourself, because every single day, even on Mother's Day, you got young teenagers and 15-year-olds getting stabbed in the neck. Oh, man, y'all ain't even supposed to be near the loop.
When police say a 15-year-old boy was walking along Dearborn near Lake Street when he was approached by 4 males. In what appears to be a robbery, 2 of the offenders took out knives, stabbing the teen in the neck.
That's somebody that's loved one, you know, on Mother's Day. That's unacceptable for the city, you know.
The knife used recovered at the scene
this.
by police.
That's
A witness tells CBS
knife.
2 a Good Samaritan jumped into action using a ripped T-shirt to compress the stab wound until first responders arrived, likely saving his life. The teen now recovering at Lurie Children's Hospital. With the backdrop of Mother's Day, the stabbing left many who typically visit the Loop on these warm spring days thinking more about security.
Like at the end of the day, there's no point of killing anybody or stabbing somebody. Everyone's just out here to enjoy their day, their Mother's Day weekend. And it's just sad what happens out there.
Well, thankfully tonight that 15-year-old is listed in good condition. Now, with no arrests made, investigators will likely lean on surveillance cameras that may have captured that stabbing, also help identify those involved.
How do y'all get away in the biggest tourist area of the city? Now, I know that Chicago is down over 2,000 cops, according to the report that I shared with you guys last week. And it's bad out here in the city, and some officers is being worked to death, overtime like crazy. How are y'all able to get away in a major city in the Loop on Mother's Day on a Sunday after a stabbing, and it's 4 y'all? That just seems so impossible. Bro, you can't go a corner. You can't go 2-3 corners without seeing a police officer or a group of police officers, police cars, state police, everything all around downtown Detroit. And that's in Detroit. So I know Chicago got to be like, for real, like fortified. Y'all got the Democratic National Convention that's coming to the city. I heard and I seen in a review video that it was basically saying that they was preparing for the worst. Matter of fact, let me pivot for a second. Let me see something. Because there was a report saying that the Democratic National Convention, and I didn't even plan on reporting this in particular. I left this out because I was trying to be nice to the city. But I heard that the Democratic National Convention is coming to Chicago, and they literally are preparing for the worst.
There's a new report today that says Democrats are, quote, preparing for the worst when they come to Chicago in August for the Democratic National Convention.
Political reporter Paris Schutz says more on how Democrats aim to avoid that worst case scenario. Paris?
Sylvia and Terrence, that report in National Politico magazine suggests that Democrats are indeed worried about protests and disruptions at Chicago's DNC in August. Now, Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth was instrumental in getting the convention here to Chicago. She says she is not preparing for the worst.
I'm preparing for the best. We're going to showcase this wonderful city. People are going to have a great time. We've been preparing for the convention. The fundraising is going well. The suites are sold out just about for the convention.
No, either they sold out or they not. Either they sold out or they not. Ain't no the suites are sold out just about. No, either they are or they not. We don't do no in between, no middling. How many is left, who coming, and what's going on.
And we're going to go and we're going to have a great convention where we're going to talk about all these issues, including access to reproductive technology.
And Politico reports the DNC might indeed rearrange events and pre-tape more of the presentations to avoid protests breaking out inside the United Center to disrupt some of the presentations. Now, the article suggests that DNC is worried about rookie Mayor Brandon Johnson, that he sides with protesters, although we did speak with the U.S. Secret Service on Fox 32 earlier this week. They said they've been working with the city and Chicago Police Department for a year on a yet-to-be-released security plan and perimeter around the United Center. Now, Duckworth.
All right, but again, I don't know how these criminals is getting away with what's happening downtown in Chicago or at the Loop and stuff like that. It just seems impossible. It just doesn't seem right. Anyways, and last but not least, because again, we got to keep time. This is very, very, very much one of the most disgusting, and I hear about this stuff on a regular basis. This is one of the most disgusting stories. And I decided not to even make this a full story. I just wanted to make this a quick hit. This is one of the most disgusting stories because y'all literally literally are some of the nastiest people that I've seen on the face of this earth. When I walk down the street every day, and after I get off the Millionaire Morning Show and I do these shows, sometimes I have to cleanse my mind because I'm thinking to myself, listen, of all the people that I'm walking past, I'm probably walking past a murderer. I'm probably walking past somebody that's a sexual predator. I'm probably walking past some of these people that, assaulted somebody and got away with it. People have done some vile things in their life. And right along with being a child predator, which in my opinion is one of the worst things that you can be on the face of this earth, is being a predator of somebody that is a disabled person or an elderly person in a nursing home. You got to check this out, man. Protect your family and friends. Check on your old folks. Check on mama and papa. They out here getting used and abused out here in these nursing homes. You got to see this, bro.
Chicago man is in custody after a DNA test confirms he impregnated a nursing home resident with severe disabilities in the western suburbs.
WGN's Judy Wang has details.
A Kane County judge Sunday denied Isaiah Fields' pretrial release, finding the 22-year-old facing multiple counts of sexual assault and battery posed a real threat to the victim and community.
Reading that super chat shortly. Thank you, Jamal.
Fields is a former employee of Markland Heights Center in Geneva, a facility which provides 24-hour care for severely disabled people. Prosecutors allege he assaulted a resident in late August of 2023. They told the judge the woman has the neurological disorder Rett syndrome. She cannot walk or talk and has the cognitive function of a 1 or 2-year-old. Last month, Markland administrators learned the woman was pregnant. She gave birth the following day at Delnor Hospital. The Kane County Sheriff's Office collected DNA samples from current and former male employees. Officers took Fields into custody Friday after his DNA test found there was a 99.9% probability he was the father. In a statement announcing charges, State's Attorney Jamie Mosser vowed to vigorously prosecute the case. The defendant is facing serious charges for his heinous actions against a vulnerable individual. Our office is committed to seeking justice for the victim and holding perpetrators of such egregious crimes fully accountable. In court, prosecutors also revealed Isaiah Fields faces assault charges in another case in Aurora. He's accused of fondling a friend's grandmother while she was asleep on a couch.
Hold on, fam. Listen, like I said, I don't get a chance to really review all of these videos before I watch them. You fondling somebody else's grandmother on a couch? What kind of... You know what? I'm going to save my thoughts on this video. I'm going to save my thoughts on this video because I'm not even going to play the rest of it. I'm literally writing it down. And church. Pregnant. Disabled. Nursing home. I'm going to talk about this more extensively. I'm going to do a full segment on this. But I'm going to do it on the Anton Daniels channel, and I'm going to release it later on today. What's up, Quentin? Listen, bro. For a dude, a 22-year-old, he already caught another charge for fondling somebody's grandmother while she was asleep. And then you got somebody that was disabled in a nursing home pregnant. Listen, fam. Yeah, we gonna break this down on the Anton Daniels channel because I need to speak to the culture and I need to hold some people accountable. Y'all nasty. Y'all filthy and y'all nasty. And y'all need to be under the jail. Y'all got some bad habits, some nasty junk. Y'all looking at some nasty stuff on the internet. Protect your grandma and protect papa. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, that's your quick hits. All right, let me look at this super chat really quickly, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. Shout out to Jamal Parks. Jamal Parks says, appreciate you for the latest Patreon video. Well, thank you, Jamal. I appreciate you, too. And it is available for anybody that want to tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I just dropped the Patreon video. It is full of information. It is full of insight. You guys need to tap into it. That is in the Patreon. We just dropped it yesterday, and we got a stock club this week. So if you're not a bag chaser, make sure you tap into the bag chasers. We're going to get to it. That last segment, we're going to review that on Anton Daniels' channel shortly. And make sure y'all tune in for the Q show tonight. You know we get it popping. All-star lineup, as usual, I'm assuming. I don't know who in the lineup, but I'm definitely thinking that all-star lineup, it's in there. It's in there. Oh, shoot, my TV started. Restart TV? Absolutely. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the show. We got 6 different segments that we want to go over. Some of them a little bit more extensive than the next. Let's get to it, y'all. First and foremost, I've been talking about this for a while, and I think it's important for us to bring this to the light. Police officers are under assault and under attack, and they're not telling you. They'll tell you about every single thing that keeps you distracted. They'll tell you about this guy. They'll tell you about this liberal city. They'll tell you about some kind of crime. They'll say, all police is going after everybody. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Every single day. And when I say every day, I mean every day. Every single day. Since I've been talking about this and bringing it to light, there has been a police officer either assaulted, hurt, shot at, wounded, or killed, and more often than not, they are taken out and killed. Shout out to Jamal Parks. I'm definitely going to be reading that super chat shortly. They are being taken out at a massive rate, and it has been like this for a long time. And so while they're out here protesting against police officers, I'm trying to tell you that we need to do what we can in order to get things together, because they cannot do it by themselves, and they are under duress, they are under assault. For everybody, and most of us have some form of a corrections officer, a police officer, state trooper, somebody in our family that's out here trying to do the best thing for the community. Often at times they're raised and they serve the very communities that they're policing. Be very, very careful. Love on them, appreciate them, because they are doing one of the hardest jobs, and they get no love, no accolades, no nothing as a result of it. Check it out.
Well, this morning, Euclid police are comforting one another after losing one of their own.
Yeah, the urgent manhunt for the suspect who shot and killed Officer Jacob Durbin is now over. News 5's Elizabeth Van Mitri followed this story from the very beginning. She joins us live from the Euclid Police Station this morning. And Elizabeth, can you please walk us through what led up to this tragic situation?
Yeah, Mike and Tiffany, the incident didn't happen far from where I'm standing right here. It happened on East 211th Street. A call came in to dispatch the Euclid Police Department out there for a disturbance. When they arrived, when they arrived to the scene, they found the officer was ambushed as soon as he got there.
Now, before we dig into these police officers as being ambushed and taken out on a regular basis, imagine this. When we first started hearing about people talk about defund the police and all of that, right? What was their solution? Well, we need to dispatch more police officers and therapists. When the call comes in and it's not a call that, requires for an actual police presence, or it's not a huge, messy crime, we need to dispatch peace officers and therapists and all of this stuff, right? Remember that? We don't want to, because the argument was, we don't want to just take money away from the regular police department. We want to divert the money into people that could be a part of the community. Well, this was just supposed to be a disturbance, quote unquote disturbance. And then they dispatched them. And then what happened? They ambushed them. Man, if y'all don't stop being Monday morning quarterbacks about where it is that we supposed to be diverting our funds to, or whether or not we supposed to be funding our police officers, man, if y'all don't get on up out of here with that, it was just supposed to be a regular disturbance. Police officer get there, they ambush them. Now tell me how many peace officers you want to be dispatched out to this situation. How many of them, how many negotiators can come in and figure this out with their clipboards?
Durbin was shot, taken to University Hospital, where he died from his injuries. That is when the manhunt began. Euclid police asked the community to help find Vaughn. We got a description plus information of the white Volkswagen they believed he was driving around 1:30 p.m. Sunday afternoon. reports started pouring in of a heavy police presence in Shaker Heights at an apartment complex in Van Inken Boulevard. When our crews arrived around 1:45, SWAT and bomb squad and multiple agencies were all there in a standoff. Neighbors telling News 5 around 2 o'clock they heard several gunshots. Residents inside told to stay in place. The U.S. Marshal Service saying attempts for a peaceful surrender were ignored.
He was not willing to give up and come out, surrender peacefully. At the end of the day, we did a lot of things during the course of this day, including sending in a number of drones that he shot at.
Dude was shooting down the drones.
The standoff ending in Vaughn's death. It is not known at this time.
Typical suspect. Neck tattoos, receding hairline, fit the description. The usual suspects is y'all keep telling me, Anton, it's racism to see all of these guys in prison. Why do you have 13.6% of the population committing the majority of the crimes? Oh my God, it's institutional. It's systematic. No, they're walking around with tattoos on their neck. They got all of their homegirls to say free Ray Ray, and they out here ambushing police officers and they operating like they got nothing to lose. And you got to walk around these guys every day. You see them in the grocery store. You see them in the line in order to get their food, they takeout order. You see them every single day. These guys are monsters. Monsters. And then I got to walk out here and defend myself against the idea of a stereotype. No, the stereotype is real. It's real. Until you get enough people to fix it, then it's real.
How he was killed. Today at the station, we see blue ribbons tied around trees, memorial being put right here, as well as a flag hung at half staff. This being asked to be done by our governor to honor Durbin. The mayor of Euclid calling this a senseless tragedy. The department asking for prayers for family and friends of this officer. For News 5, Elizabeth Van Mitri, back to you.
Yeah, and as people come together, we know that memorial will continue to grow. Thank you, Elizabeth.
All right, some more background on Officer Durbin now. The 23-year-old had been with the Euclid Police Department for less than 10 months at the time of his death. He was following in his father's footsteps, who is also an officer with the department. Durbin was also a fiancé. He was a...
It's always the good ones. Just got into the police department. Ain't even at their 1-year anniversary. Father is also a police officer. About to get married to his fiance, just started making a decent amount of money and got enough benefits to be able to take care of his family. And guess what? Homeboy with the neck tattoos don't see him as a human being. They don't see him as a person. They don't see him as a potential father. They don't see him as a man that's about to get married. They don't see him as a son. They see him as the ops. Why? Because of his uniform. The uniform makes you an op. By default, going out to a disturbance, trying to figure out what's going on, and you get ambushed. Fiance, son, the whole gamut of things. Less than a year on the job and already taken out.
A little more than 2 months away from getting married. His family,
Jesus
friends,
Christ.
and those who worked alongside him, even the community, now united in their grief.
The woman don't even get his benefits because she wasn't even married to him. She don't get nothing. Everything that they would, man, listen, bro. Everything that they was planning, it means nothing. You know why? Because she don't get nothing. She don't get his life insurance. She don't get nothing. For those of y'all that keep shacking up, not saying that this is an example, but this is an example of something that you really got to be careful of. She don't get nothing. 2 months away from getting married, 2 months away from his 1-year anniversary. Son, life insurance, nothing. She don't get nothing. You know what she get? A broken heart, a criminal that you can't even hold accountable because she can't even face him and hold him accountable for what she did to her future husband. And everything is just gone. Everything gone.
For the young officer who was just starting his life when it was taken. Euclid Police Chief Scott Meyer described Officer Durbin as kind, compassionate, and extremely dedicated to a position as a public servant.
We were also able to speak with family members of the suspected shooter, 24.
Jesus Christ. This is trolling. This ain't nothing but trolling. This ain't nothing but trolling right there. Oh, and we were also able to speak with the family members. This is the picture of the family. Don't even put my picture up there. I don't want to be associated with him. I don't know Ray. I told him he needed to get his life together, or he was going, he was going to find himself in a bad situation. It's messed up. This is trolling. This is trolling at its finest right here.
4-year-old Deshaun Anthony Vaughn. His uncle, Howard Ferguson, says Vaughn was more like a son, and the suspect had a new child of his own.
Just had a brand new baby, and he was just going through a little bit of stuff that probably was just kind of hard on him. I'm sorry. The officer did not have to lose his life. I don't know exactly what happened last night, still to this day.
Well, this tragedy happened as National Police Week begins.
And the week pays special recognition to law enforcement officers who lost their lives in the line of duty for the safety of others.
Hey, listen, every single police officer out there, for everybody that's a widow, everybody that's married to a police officer, I love you. I appreciate you. I know we only extend that over into the military members and say, thank you for your service. Nah, thank y'all for y'all service, because I actually think, and I'm not comparing, but I think that police officers are even more meaningful to our lives directly, not indirectly, because our military members are absolutely needed and they're appreciated too. But we don't extend enough thanks and we don't say enough, I appreciate you for your service to the people that directly affects us in our community. It's similar to how we always show praise and love to the national candidates when it comes to the presidential election, but we don't actually participate to the people that we can touch. That's because the prophet gets no honor in their own home. When you can see them, when you can touch them, it ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? And so shout out to every police officer. Shout out to every member that's a part of the community that's doing great things. We appreciate you. I want to show y'all one more thing before we go, because I'm going to save that for tomorrow. Too many police officers to name, too many stories to reference. We'll save that for tomorrow. So over in Atlanta, they got some issues and stuff too, but we'll save that. Let me read this super chat and then we're going to go over and continue over with the show. It's unfortunate, man. I don't like this. And then I'm going to say one more thing. Jamal Park says, do you think graphic design is still a useful skill considering AI and Canva? I think that going into user experience, to become a user experience architect or any of that type of stuff, listen, software engineers, graphic design, all of that stuff, none of that stuff is going away. If you asking me what I think you should go into, I would always push you into cybersecurity. Always, 100% push you into cybersecurity. But having software engineering skills, any form of an engineer, none of that stuff is going away. Go into the cloud, Azure, Amazon Web Services, all of that stuff. None of that stuff is going away. But if you're asking me what I think you should go into in order for job security and to get the bag, I'm going to say cybersecurity. All right. So shout out to you for that super chat. I appreciate you, Jamal. Thank you. And let me say one more thing to Tyrell Foote, also known as Gangster Love. People have been sending me stuff that you've been doing, and out here in these streets, you just sent me another email. This is my stalker. All right? Let me say this, bro, and I'm only going to tell you one more time, because this is the type of stuff that I get sent on a regular basis, all right? I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me take that down a little bit. Too low. All right. I know you want some attention, so I'm going to give you some attention. Every day he send me stuff like this, all right? So this is what I'm going to say to you, bro. And this is the last time. Now, I've been very, very nice, and I've been chill, and I just, I play along sometimes because I think it's cool, but I get stupid messages from different people all the time. This is your very, very, very last warning, bro. And I'm going to tell you right here, right now, on the Millionaire Morning Show, live. Don't send me another email. Don't send me another message. I don't want to hear from you. The next time that you do it, I'm absolutely going to do everything in my power to make sure you arrested. I'm going to make sure that you get everything thrown at you. I know where you live. I know where you work. I've been telling people to leave you alone. I've been telling people to not dox you. They already sent me all of your information. I know every single thing that there is to know about you. I am a civilian. I am a person that loves my family. I have a daughter and I have a regular life. Don't send me any more emails. Don't send me no more threats. I know you wanted a coaching call. I turned it down. Don't turn into an incel. You got a wife, you got a family, you got a regular job. Homie, get off the internet and live a real life. Get off the internet and live a regular life, bro. Okay? You're not some kind of caricature on the internet. You don't have anything going for yourself right now. You got a lot of work to do, bro. The next time that you send me something, the very next thing that you send me something, and I have access to some of the most, I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm trying to tell you. I have really great relationships with some of the highest authorities in the police department, the FBI, all of that. You need to chill out. And I'm not saying this as a threat. I'm actually asking you politely to chill out. I don't want to do nothing. I ain't trying to mess you up. I keep telling people to, hey, listen, he just trolling or whatever. But the next time that you do it, I'm going to do everything in my power and I'm going to leverage every dollar that I have to make sure that you are absolutely positively held accountable for your actions. You can't keep threatening people. We know your real name and all of that. Chill out, bro. Be smart. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Be very, very wise and be smart. Make the smart decision. Let me read another super chat and then we're going to continue over with the show. Shout out to Shadow Dragon TV. I appreciate you. Says just some support, big dog. Salute. Always a good start of the week. And at the Millionaire Morning Show. I appreciate you, fam. Thank you for always holding me down. And thank you for everybody, every single person that has sent a super chat, hit a like for the algorithm, and is supporting this platform by watching it in real life. All right? All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started with the rest of the show. I just wanted to make sure I made a public service announcement. It's all fun and games until you're being held accountable for your actions, all right? Let's continue. So, I wanted to use this part before we get into the rest of the show and we start getting to the money and stuff. I wanted to use this as an opportunity to also have a conversation because I know a lot of times we talk about the fact that we know who the criminals are, we know who the people are that's inside of our environment and in our neighborhoods and in society that are doing some of the worst crimes ever, right? But one thing that we never talk about is whether or not we can fix our own society by participating and holding accountable the people that we know are doing some of the worst things. But what if that worst thing was somebody that was related to you? What if it was your family? What if it was your husband, your wife, your son, cousin? What if it was your own daughter? What if you are a mother and you know that your daughter did some of the most heinous, irresponsible, bad crimes? Ask yourself this question. If you knew your daughter, your own daughter, your flesh and blood, you raised them, you knew your own flesh and blood had did one of the most heinous crimes and you knew it was them or you suspected it was them, would you turn them in? Would you turn them in? What is this? Hold on, let me see something. Why is this doing this? I'm curious as to why this is doing this. Give me a second. Let me see something. I wonder why this is doing this like this. All right, this is the last thing that I need as far as all of these issues. Why is this doing this like this? Oh, brother. Give me a second. One of the benefits of doing the show live. Wasn't expecting for my mouse to just stop working. Why would my mouse just stop working like that? So it's not that one. That's weird. It's weird as hell. Oh, I know what's wrong. All right, I got it. All right, we fixed. We good now.
You already told us. Because I don't want nobody to go through this, losing nobody or somebody taking a life. I never did that. And I never had that.
A Memphis woman turned on her television to see her daughter was wanted in connection with a murder. So what does that mother do? She took her daughter to the police station to turn her in. And tonight, 26-year-old Kenyatta Hayes is facing first-degree murder.
Memphis police say that she shot and killed a man over $60. Fox 13's Daniel Wilkerson spoke with Hayes' mother today. Daniel joins us live tonight. Daniel, after the mom brought her daughter, the daughter confessed?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. Police is saying yes, she confessed. And as you said, Daryl and Darcy, police are saying she did this over $60.
Police say this video shows 26-year-old Kenyatta Hayes just moments after she promised a sexual act to a man for $60, but then robbed and killed him. But her mother, Shantae Jones, feels otherwise.
I don't think she did this.
No, I don't.
Why is that?
Because the guy that she was with, I believe she was scared of him.
Jones asked.
Wait. All right. I'm learning about this in real time. Let me take a sip of water real quick. Give me a minute. Let me figure this out. You telling me, shout out to A Dunn, I'm going to read that super chat shortly. You telling me that the price of the box is so low. All right, so we got a little bit of inflation going on. I thought that the price of the box, 2 years ago, the price of the box was $39.95. Now it's gone up to $60. You telling me that this chick was selling box for $60 or selling dome for $60 and then wind up taking a man's life and then putting everybody in a difficult situation, including mama, because mama seen who it was that was running out on that camera. You telling me that the price of the box is $60 and you killed a man over 60 bucks? Jesus Christ. I got to rewind that. I can't, that can't be right. And look at her running out with her multiple colored.
Yetta Hayes just moments after she promised a sexual act to a man for $60, but then robbed and killed him.
$60, fam. $60. What could y'all buy with $60? Honest to God, I'm just curious. What are y'all doing with $60? What is going on? What are y'all promising? Y'all giving it up for $60? They DMing y'all and telling y'all, nah, see, don't sit there and tell me that y'all out here talking about, oh my God, he got to send me $100 at least for lunch. Nah, fam, you doing way worse for 60.
But her mother, Shantae Jones, feels otherwise.
You don't think she did this?
No, I don't.
Why is that?
Because the guy that she was with, I believe she was scared of him.
Jones asked Fox 13 to blur her face out of fear she may be targeted. Investigators say Hayes met the man at this Marathon gas station in a 3000 block of Lamar. Hayes told police the man asked her for oral sex in exchange for money. An arrest warrant says Hayes never planned on having any type of sex with the man, but told police she was going to rob the man. Police say after leaving the gas station, Hayes and the man went here to Cherokee Park where he thought she would perform the act.
This is getting so bad. This is this is getting, this story is becoming worse and worse. Every minute that we watch, the story gets worse. So you can't sit. All right, mama. First of all, mama, we seen her running out the house on camera. So let's throw away all of the disposition that she was being set up. All right. That's number one. Number two, she met with him at the gas station. She didn't even have to link up with him. They met at the gas station. She said she was going to get some dome for $60. They went out to the park. Jesus Christ.
That's where investigators say Hayes shot the man, took $60, and ran off. Video captured her leaving. Jones says she saw the video on the news, called MPD homicide, telling officers she was on the way to them with her daughter.
Because I don't condone violence. I don't. If you do something, you pay for it.
Once at MPD,
Shout out
officers
to
say
mama. Let me
Hayes.
give mama a round of applause for that one. Mama said, I never raised you to be out here giving it up for $60, and nor did I raise you to be out here taking advantage of men and taking them out. And so mama is one of the people, I mean, you raised her, so I got to hold you accountable for that. But I also got to give you a round of applause for turning in the culprit. She was going to get caught anyway eventually, but I got to give you a round of applause for turning in the culprit, bro.
Told them she committed the crime because she was, quote, thirsty for money. When asked what she did with the $60, Hayes told officers she bought her and her boyfriend 2 combo meals and she had $13 left.
I didn't hear what I just heard. Hold on, wait a minute.
PD officers say Hayes told them she committed the crime because she was, quote, thirsty for money. When asked what she did with the $60, Hayes told officers she bought her and her boyfriend 2 combo meals and she had $13 left.
Y'all got to stop sending this. Hold on, family. Hold on. This is getting worse and worse. AKG said this is beyond me. Oh, no, dog. No, listen. Hold on, dog. Wait a minute. Let me put $60 up in it. Wait a minute. You got a boyfriend. And you buying 2 combo meals. And you got $13 left? Oh, Jesus Christ. Mama, no, don't embarrass us like this. Tell me he tried to hit you or something. Dog, what is wrong with this world? We are living in literally a simulation. God, I told somebody over the weekend, I said, God, this has got to be one big joke. This is a troll. This is nothing but trolling. Gotta be. Thank you for the cash apps. I appreciate you. Gotta be trolling. Got to be trolling. I don't believe it. No freaking way did she tell the police officers that she was giving them dome for $60 and then she went and bought two. She was thirsty for money, went and bought two combo meals, and she got $13 left. Oh, no. This is supposed to be a sad story, but God, I can't take it no more. Lord, what kind of news is these people sending me on a regular basis? I'm reacting. This is my first time. No way. No way. No way. Impossible that this woman is literally the prototype of everything that we hold accountable on a regular. Let me review this a little bit more extensively. I got to do some research. We're going to talk about this. I'm literally writing this stuff down. I'm writing it down. Woman thirsty for $60 combo meal. Combo meal, $13 left. Boyfriend. I got it all written down. It's right there. Combo meal, boyfriend, review video, $13. Anton Daniels channel. Coming up soon. Good God.
Though Jones doesn't believe her daughter pulled the trigger, she says still there is a lesson here for young people.
You need to think about your actions. You need to think about what you're doing before you before you do something. They need to be a leader, not a follower.
And watch who they hang around.
And watch who they hang around with. Yes,
And
sir.
watch who they hang around. Tell them, talk to them, the reporter.
Yeah, back out here live. That's good advice coming from that mother tonight. The mother tells me no matter how it went down, who did what, she says she doesn't want people to lose sight of the fact that a life was lost here. She has a message for the victim's family. I'm working on that part of the story for Fox 13 News at 10. Darcy.
Well, Daniel, you said that the mother said she saw her daughter on TV news and then took her daughter down to the police precinct. Did the mother ever ask her daughter whether she in fact shot and killed the man? Because in the story, the mother says she doesn't think that her daughter would do that. But did she ask her daughter, did she do it?
You know what, Darcy, that was a question I had for the mother. After all, they had to probably have discussed things at the home, and then she drove her all the way down to the police station. The mother says to me that the daughter didn't say anything at all. She did not indicate either way.
This is crazy. So don't keep sitting here talking to me, talking about how y'all some boss bees and all. I had a whole nother story that I was gonna do on top of this, but let me just get my thoughts off. I don't want to hear nobody else sitting here telling me about how they bossed up and what you deserve. Man, y'all out here shooting people for $60 in a combo meal and giving it with your boyfriend. And I told y'all, I warned y'all. I said, listen, you paying for it and he getting a free combo meal. I know the boyfriend is sitting like, dang, that was a good combo meal though. This is wild. This is beyond me. It's a recession out here for y'all, and y'all not going to convince me otherwise because women is murdering men for $60, giving box in the park, meeting them at the gas station, and buying combo meals with it. And y'all not going to convince me otherwise. And so this is insane. This has been a wild Monday. I might have to call the pastor after this one. Pastor, baptize me, cleanse me. I might have to call these earthy chicks and have them put some incense over this place. This is crazy. Seriously? Y'all really crashing out for $60? $60? Not $60,000, $60? And he thought that he was going to pull over and get some box. And she got her $60. Good God. Man dead, woman arrested, boyfriend still running the streets, and mama crying. Shout out to mama. I don't know what good we can get out of this story outside of protect your seed, have some discipline. Listen, the next chick you go pick up at the gas station, for all of these lot lizards, all you truck, I know I got a lot of truck drivers that's out here in these streets. Listen, family, this is what I will tell you. Be very, very careful, because the next woman you run into may be trading in your life for 2 combo meals. That's the moral of the story. Let's continue, man. Look, it's rough out here. It's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get that money for. And then she said she was thirsty for money. Good God. And then y'all gonna sit here talking about, Anton, ain't nobody gonna take me. Yes, y'all are. Y'all going. You going. I seen you do more for less. You took somebody's life for $60. Don't tell me what you ain't gonna do for the money. I don't want no high value. You do. You going. You gonna give it all up for a real one. Let me read some of these super chats. Anton, you made my Monday. Gangsta Boo is. I'm trying to tell these people. They need to stay up out of my inbox, man. Because I am not the one. I will definitely. Let me tell you something. Hold on. Let me tell you how much I'm not the one before I read this next super chat. The association, one of my tenants called me and said, Anton, the association is making me take down the flower pot next to the house. I can't stand HOAs and associations, right? And I called the president. So I took some time out of my day before the Millionaire Morning Show today, and I called the president. I said, hey, man, y'all bothering my tenants, bro? Whoa, Anton, they didn't go through the proper channels. I said, what's the proper channels? You got to go online, submit a form, then order, because according to the bylaws, I said, and this is the honest to God truth. You can ask Rita. I said, listen, because she was on the phone listening. I said, listen, bro, y'all not going to keep bothering my tenants. I'm going to submit this thing. And whatever it is she got, I don't care if she got a garden full of vegetables on the side of the house, you're going to let her do it. And if you don't, I have the money and the resources to really make y'all lives hell and to really go hard. I said, and I know that you just the lonely president that got elected because you ain't got nothing better to do. But I'm trying to tell you that if I get another phone call from y'all about some neighbor that observed them from seeing a flower pot on the side of the house, I'm going to dedicate myself to making sure that your life is hell. All games is up. In 2024 going forward, we done. I submitted it. I'll show it to you. I submitted it. Gmail. HOA. I'll show it to you. Let me remove that. They said we reviewed your application and your submission is approved. I'm going to try not to show no names. I ain't kidding. Dog, I am not playing no games with nobody. I went ahead and submitted it. Anton, we reviewed your application and everything has been approved. The request for the flower bed, please respect the current drainage fields around the areas with respect to the neighbors. This cannot be done. Please. Bro, I'm not playing no games with these people. I'm telling you, when I say I did something, dog, don't bother my people over no flower bed. We not playing no games. So I went ahead and submitted it. I said, hey, listen, you got any more problems, don't go to them. You come to me. We gonna, all small, petty issues, we gonna approach it like it's World War III. All small, petty issues will be handled like we are assaulted, we are under duress, and we are going to address it specifically. I'm trying to tell you, leave me alone. Leave me alone, bro. I am not the one. I will go 10 times over for my people. And so y'all, if it's for me, I'm not messing around with y'all. Let me read some more of these super chats. Shirtcoat says, thank you for reporting. God bless and keep you safe. Keep doing what you do. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Pookie's friend Ray Ray is in the building, says she was selling that gas station dome is disgusting. She bought 2 chicken wing combos and fries for $47 and had $13 left. $23.50 a piece. You know what I'm saying? Kofi Ansa says, "Oh, how sweet of her." Yeah, she shared. She shared the wealth. At least she's not selfish. Devastator says, "The moment she said she was thirsty for more money, I broke out laughing." Man, you can't make this stuff up, bro. You cannot make this stuff up. Well Building Journey says, "Clearly now it's important to vet box workers." You know what I'm saying? You can't even get no box no more. The boyfriend was like, where you get all of this money from? And are you sharing or no? What combo meal is $47? She got 2 of them. $23.50 a piece. Inflation. Spacer says, "I had the exact same question, a great way." We all thinking the same thing. We all in the same place. Probably not the first time she robbed dudes. Yep, but she had to take a life this time, and so it was really, it got to her. Crackhead activities. Absolutely, I agree with you. Jamal Fowler says, "The world is crazy. I'm ready to." Don't be ready to leave Earth. Don't be ready. We here. We gotta chill, bro. We gotta chill. All right, y'all. So again, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. If you have not already, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We gonna run it up. We gonna take care of business. All right. We absolutely are going to take care of business. All right, let's go ahead and get to the next thing. What we got on here? Oh, Seinfeld. I heard Seinfeld got booed. Have y'all heard about this? Seinfeld. You know how Seinfeld has like the biggest inventory of Porsches in the world. In the world, Seinfeld has the biggest inventory of Porsches in the world. And he was invited to do the commencement speech at Duke. And then I heard that he got booed as a result of it because of his support for Israel. Can't make this up. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Deal about our commencement speaker?
See all the kids leaving?
So,
I totally admire the
So some people was actually in his corner.
ambitions of your generation to create a more just and inclusive society. I think it is also wonderful that you care so much about not hurting other people's feelings. In the 1,000,001 ways, we all do that every second of every day. It's lovely to want to fix those things, but, all caps, but, what I need to tell you as a comedian, do not lose your sense of humor. You can have no idea at this point in your life how much you are going to need it to get through. Not enough of life makes sense for you to be able to survive it without humor. And I know all of you here are going to use all of your brains and muscle and soul to improve the world, and I know you're going to do a bang-up job. And when you're done, as I am now, I bet the world, because of you, will be a much better place. But it will still not make a whole hell of a lot of sense. It'll be a better, different, but still pretty insane mess.
So let me go ahead and do another breakdown of it to know even more about why it is that they walked out. So I'm going to take it from a different source. You know, I like to source my information from all different sources, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all the local news or whatever. So we're going to get CNN's take on this thing to get the more liberal view of this whole situation.
The pro-Palestinian protests that engulfed college campuses have now found a new stage, the graduation stage. At Duke University Sunday, about 30 students walked out of the commencement ceremony as comedian Jerry Seinfeld was being introduced. Seinfeld has supported Israel throughout the war against Hamas in Gaza, and here is some of what he then said in his address.
I totally admire the ambitions of your generation to create a more just and inclusive society. I think it is also wonderful that you care so much about not hurting other people's feelings. In the 1,000,001 ways, we all do that every second of every day. It's lovely to want to fix those things.
That is far from the only protest to hit college commencement ceremonies over the weekend. CNN's Nick Valencia joins us now. What all happened, Nick?
Yeah, hey, Kate, good morning. Commencement season is upon us, and these pro-Palestinian demonstrators are choosing to voice their opposition to the war in Gaza in a variety of ways, some continuing to call for a ceasefire. And over the weekend, we saw that at commencement ceremonies across the country, really. Some chanted, others held signs, some draped themselves in Palestinian flags, calling for their schools to divest from Israel. But for the most part, these ceremonies went on without a hitch. In Southern California, though, there was a brief interruption. According to the New York Times, at least one person was arrested over a skirmish outside of Pomona College's graduation. They had to move their graduation 30 miles away from their campus. And at Duke University, we saw what happened there in the intro. Comedian Jerry Seinfeld, who's been a very vocal supporter of Israel since the Hamas terrorist attack on October 7th, he was protested by a few dozen pro-Palestinian demonstrators who chose to walk out and have their own commencement ceremony. Across the country in California, at UC Berkeley, the Dean of Students had to take the microphone. There was a pause in ceremony there. And listen to what the Dean of Students had to say to try to get control again of that graduation ceremony.
Students, if you're open to it, I invite you to speak with me after the event in a space that's more appropriate. But in the meanwhile, I ask that you allow the program to continue. Okay? Because otherwise we're going to have to continue to have you leave, and that breaks my heart. So...
The ceremony did continue. No one was arrested, and those demonstrators, we understand, did leave voluntarily. More commencement addresses and graduation ceremonies are planned across the country this week, and we're starting to see some schools try to get ahead of these potential demonstrations. We're just learning the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee has reached an agreement with pro-Palestinian demonstrators to dismantle their encampment by tomorrow. In exchange, they've agreed not to interrupt a graduation ceremony. In exchange, the university will join calls now for a ceasefire in Gaza.
Never, ever, under any circumstance, never, ever negotiate with terrorists. And when I say terrorists, I mean that people that are willing to disrupt, dismantle, and then put you as an op, and you don't even have anything. Look, I'm all for differences of opinions. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I advocate for, even in my own chats, is for people, when they disagree with me, don't mute them, don't silence them, let them get it off. As long as they're not being overly disrespectful, then let them get it off. Let them rock out. And then, we can have discourse. I open up my platforms to people that think differently than me. I don't ever want to be in an echo chamber, right? And so I advocate for people that have a difference of opinion. But what I don't advocate for is for you to break the law or you to be so disruptive to other people, like the Googlers, the 28 people that got fired from Google that took over their boss's office or took over the CEO's office, or people that's protesting outside of the law, right? I don't believe in that. I don't stand for that. And I think that when you give them an inch, they take a mile. And then when you start negotiating with people, it make it much more difficult. The minute that you start being firm and you start making sure that these people understand that there's consequences that goes outside of the law, because it's a difference between peaceful protesting and disrupting everybody else's experience. And so I'm sure that it's a lot of people that may not necessarily see things the way that you see. So you're going to bully them. You're going to bully them into an uncomfortable situation when they paid their money and they did their work and they had this graduation ceremony and they trying to have a commencement speech and they trying to experience the best of it. Their biggest memory of it is supposed to be you that selfish to where you hijack people's experience and you make it yours just to make. Listen, it's the same thing when it came to Black Lives Matters, which we found out that was a fraud organization. We knew that it was a Marxist organization. We knew that they was finessing y'all. And y'all got mad at Candace Owens and y'all still look at Candace Owens as the ops. But we never came back to the front and said, yo, y'all was right. They was wrong. We wanted to paint the whole NBA court negatively. We wanted to put a whole bunch of words on the back of the NBA players' jerseys during the lockout. Like, we didn't need any more divisiveness at that particular time. Y'all wanted to burn up AutoZone and they told y'all that it was just large gatherings. Oh my God, listen, man, it was looters. That's people that was opportunistic, that was breaking into stores, tearing up and making it a food desert. and then y'all justified it by saying, well, it's in the name of protesting. Anybody, oh, okay, all right, so I give you another one. Because when they allegedly stormed the Capitol, y'all was upset about that though, right? Oh, that's an insurrection. Okay, so at what point do what group of people is classified as a specific thing? Is it just because of the skin color? Is it because of the issue that they get mad at? Or is it because it's not you? So if it's you, we supposed to have special circumstances. But if it's them, then it's supposed to be an insurrection, right? I'm just trying to figure it out. At what point does a disagreement or a protest turns into breaking the law, and then are we having it equal across the board depending on who's doing it? And is this all really just a distraction in the first place?
Kate.
Nick Valencia, thank you so much.
Jerry is also serving as our commencement speaker today.
Well, about 30 students walked out as the comedian was introduced. You can see some students waving the Palestinian flag. Here's how Seinfeld responded.
And I know all of you here are going to use all of your brains and muscle and soul to improve the world, and I know you're going to do a bang-up job. And when you're done, as I am now, I bet the world, because of you, will be a much better place. But it will still not make a whole hell of a lot of sense.
I don't think that y'all realize that y'all not affecting these people. Just because y'all walked out of your own graduation, that's your experience. I'm pretty sure that Seinfeld is going to go on to live his life. He's going to buy more Porsches. He's going to buy more garages. He's going to be richer than ever. He's always going to make a whole bunch of money. And so y'all protesting against him is not going to change anything. Why don't y'all do something more meaningful? Like fix your own community, vote better, participate in stuff that actually works, instead of asking somebody to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. Just my opinion, anyways. I can't stand when people break the law to do something just because they disagree with whatever it is that's going on in society. Again, just my opinion. I don't know. Let me read a couple of these super chats and then we're going to continue on with the show. Torrance says she must have been at Five Guys. Shout out to Five Guys. I like they shakes. Shout out to Five Guys in the building. Got my dog Common Man 80 says, I lived in a condo when I was young and had more money than brain. I had my run-ins with an HOA, got sick of that crap. I sold it and bought a house. CC&R was a trip, never again. Yeah, man, listen. It's an interesting dynamic. The HOA fees is pretty low. I don't know, man. I'm just not a fan of it. I understand the purpose of it, but then anything can go bad depending on what it is that you're dealing with. Shout out to you. I appreciate you, Common Man 80. The Bottom Line News says, finally caught you live for once, just showing love, bro. Thank you to Bottom Line News. I appreciate you. Thank you to my guy out here killing it and running it up. Thank you. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. What we got? Oh, okay. NBA Youngboy. All right. NBA Youngboy. So I told y'all and I broke down for y'all how NBA Youngboy was basically arrested and is being accused of basically fraud and all of this other stuff and wire transfers and all of this stuff, right? And so the theory is that he's being held accountable, and he was already on house arrest in Utah, but he's being held accountable for calling in fake prescriptions for promethazine and codeine and cough syrup, right? And so we know that a lot of these guys are addicted to it. He's been on house arrest, and he's a phenomenal artist as far as what other people are saying and stuff like that. I don't really listen to his music, but I don't have an opinion on his music at all. But he was arrested, and he's being arraigned, and this is his court proceeding in which apparently he's being held on $100,000 bail, so I'm assuming that he's going to get out. But this was his court appearance, and he's basically being accused of fraud and a bunch of other stuff for ordering fake prescriptions, using fake doctor's notes and all of that stuff. Check it out. Hey, where you get that mustache from, though, on the low? Hold on. This man just aged like 15 years. That's Youngboy. He didn't turn into a Mexican. He literally is turned into a Mexican. If you look at him at the bottom, and see, this is why I don't trust people with no stash, man. If you look at the bottom with no stash and them blowing the smoke versus looking at him right here and bit out a young boy, he looked way different with that stash, man. He's Jesus Youngboy. Dude done aged 15 years just by growing a stash, man. And that look crazy, bro. Hold on. First of all, this lawyer can't whisper to save his life. We can almost hear everything that he's saying on the microphone. And shout out to y'all with the great value wipes. Y'all went to Walmart and got them wipes. Y'all didn't get the name brand ones. Yo, I have to stop looking and paying attention to everything else that's around me. My context clues is telling me that the court is cheap. Homeboy need to cut his hair. He don't have his whisper voice on, but we'll see what happens. Dude need a whisper voice. Okay. Yes, he's okay. He's okay with it.
All rise. Court for the First Judicial District of the State of Utah and for the County of Cache is now in session. The Honorable Judge Spencer D. Walton is presiding. You may be seated.
All right, good morning. Let's call the case of State of Utah versus Kentrell Deshaun Galden, case 241100468. Counsel, please state your names for the record.
Aaron Jossie for the state. Drew Finling and Zach Finling on behalf of Mr. Galden.
All right, we're here today for a preliminary hearing and a bail hearing. I've had the opportunity to meet with the attorneys in chambers, and it does appear that there has been some type of arrangement reached between the parties. Mr. Finling, would you like to go ahead and state that for the record, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, counsel for the state and myself have been in negotiation really since yesterday, but throughout this morning, and I've explained those negotiations to Mr. Galden. We are going to waive a preliminary hearing in this matter. In exchange for that, a bond will be set at $100,000. Mr. Galden will be able to use a commercial company to make that bond. That will be an aggregate bond covering everything in total as contained in the charging instrument.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Finling. Mr. Keller, does that accurately represent the agreement that's been reached between the state and Mr. Galden?
Yes, it does, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Galden, have you had enough time to speak to your attorneys about this decision to waive your right to your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that the standard at a preliminary hearing is a much lower burden of proof that the government would have to meet than at trial? So instead of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, it's a lower burden of proof, which is there a reasonable belief that a crime was committed by you? And the court has to view all the evidence that it would receive in a light most favorable to the government, to the prosecution. Understanding that legal standard and having had discussions with your attorneys, do you hereby waive your right to your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
All right. The court finds that Mr. Galden has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to his preliminary hearing. He will be bound over for trial on all the charges set forth in the information, the charging document in this case. Bail will be set through stipulation of the parties at $100,000. That will be bondable. And in talking to the attorneys, it sounds like they would like to set this out for an arraignment at a later point in time. Mr. Finley, would you like to go ahead and articulate anything specific related to that?
Yes, Your Honor. As discussed in chambers, and I explained to Mr. Galden, even if it's set up for arraignment, say in 60 days, The court has made it clear through discussion with counsel, if there is a resolution well before then, we're welcome to come back before Your Honor at any point in the future.
Okay, very good. So we'll set Mr. Golden's arraignment out in about 60 days. That arraignment would take place through WebEx. We'll have Mr. Golden brought here to the courthouse, and then if Mr. Finley would like to appear remotely for that hearing, he may do so. Also, if the attorneys reach some sort of resolution prior to those 60 days expiring, then just reach out to Angie and we'll get that on my calendar in a timely fashion.
You know, the American justice system, as fair as it is compared to other justice systems in the world, is still very flawed because, you know, it takes a lot of finances and resources in order for you to mount your own defense, which is just I wish it was a different way in which we could update it, right? Because the only people that are really winning in this situation, and I think that the bigger message here is not whether or not NBA Youngboy is getting a bail hearing and that he's going to be able to get himself out. Because obviously, whatever the amount is, he'll be able to get himself out because, you know, he's considered an asset. Whether he got it or whether his label got it or whoever it is that's working with him got it, he'll be out of jail. So we don't really care about that. And I'm sure he's not going anywhere, so he's going to figure that out. But the other part of this is, who really makes money from this whole situation? You know what I'm saying? I think that the whole justice system is just set up to be another capitalistic system that feeds and funds an entirely different industry, including lawyers and judges. Judges make a crazy amount of money. We got to, you know, have jail systems. We got to use our taxpayer dollars in order to do so. Lawyers get a crazy bag. I'm sure they get millions from this whole thing. And so when you think about the justice system and how it's set up, and you know, for me, I always look at it from a business perspective. So I'm looking at it from a profit-driven lens. Everybody in that courtroom is getting paid except for the visitors that's watching. I mean, for God's sakes, if you really want to put it in perspective, you know, it kind of reminds me of the whole Drake and Kendrick Lamar battle. The Drake and Kendrick Lamar battle wasn't so much a battle. And I think that people are distracted from the real thing. I sat, you know, I looked at an academics stream and I kind of broke it down. And I was looking at the fact that they said that Kendrick Lamar had basically removed the copyright restrictions and Drake didn't even have no copyright restrictions on his stuff and stuff like that, right? And that was an economy. That was a profit-driven, and you know, for me, I always look at the conspiracy aspect of it. And so for me, I'm always looking at, wait a minute, where's the money? Where's the benefit in this? Who's really profiting from it? And everybody get a bag, right? Everybody was successful. Academics was successful. All of the streamers were successful. We made money as a result of it. All of the reaction channels was getting bags from it. The labels made a whole lot of money. People was checking for certain people. They was able to promote their brand. It was a whole economy behind it. And I don't think that anything in America, very few things in America, there's not an economy that's driven as a result of what it is that's happening. And that's why a lot of times we advocate against, you know, what's happening in family court and stuff, because it's not that. I think the distraction is that is supposed to be meaningful to us. In reality, there's a few people that are sacrificed every single day as a result of other people in order to benefit. We have to have jails because then we have to have bailiffs. We have to have corrections officers. We have to have judges. We have to have lawyers. Nobody is going to let that industry fail. You see what I'm saying? And so every few years you're going to get a battle. And, you know, UMG is going to make a bunch of money, and whoever it is that's battling going to make a bunch of money, and the internet going to make a bunch of money, and the vloggers going to get bigger as a result of it. And so for me, I'm always thinking about the finances that come along with it. And when I look at this, I see a paid judge, a whole bunch of lawyers, prosecution. It's basically economies of scale that we're talking about here.
Angie, a date about 60 days out for that arraignment on a Monday morning, probably. July 1st, at what time? 9? Okay. Okay, so that would be July 1st at 9 a.m. or 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time, whatever you'd prefer.
Either one.
Okay, let's do 9 a.m. Does that work for the state?
It does, yes.
All right, Mr. Galden, your arraignment will be July 1st, 9
And think
a.m.
about all of the other people that's interdependent on these systems to succeed. IT, cybersecurity, Zoom, whoever it is that's setting up the network and the infrastructure, cable companies, light company, building, facilities, management, all of these different things. And there's so many people that benefit from whatever it is that's happening. And so the best way for you to continue to feed into the system is to continue to commit crime. You are the economy. When y'all go out here, especially if you're famous, especially if you got money, when you go out here and you commit crime or you do something that's bad, you're basically feeding a system and you're keeping this economy going that's basically set up to profit off of you. And that's why I can't commit crime, because I'm unwilling to give money over to something that does not serve me. Whenever I give some money to something, it's got to be convenient. It got to be able to serve me. It can't be that I'm feeding into a system. Yes, divorce court is the same way. Everything is the same way. It's all the same. And basically you feeding everybody and you the sacrificial lamb, and you putting your freedom in the balance also we can then profit off of your demise. Because everybody is going to profit off of your demise. Everybody. It's going to be so many people that make money off of you, and you then become a second part of the economy.
You'll be brought over from the Cache County Jail, assuming that you're still incarcerated. If not, you'd be able to appear remotely for that hearing as well, or appear in person, whatever your preference would be. Is there anything else that needs to be stated on the record here today, counsel?
On behalf of Mr. Galden.
Nothing further from the state.
All right, with that, we'll conclude this hearing. Court is adjourned.
Anyway, so his bail is now set at $100,000. Now, I'm not an expert in this criminal court stuff. And so one of the things that I am wondering as we look at this whole bail hearing and stuff like that is, for us normal folk, whenever you got an issue or you issue a bond or a bail or whatever, it's usually 10%. So if your bail is set at $100,000, then you usually got to post 10%, which is $10,000. Or if your stuff is at $2,000, then you got to post $200. And so one of the things that I am wondering, and I'm going to have to call some friends, is with his bail being set at $100,000, does he only have to post 10? I don't think it makes a difference either way. But, yep, let me read a couple of super chats, and then we're going to continue over with the show. Wealth Building Journey says, anyone else notice how the most negative or the most aggressive and violent crimes are occurring amongst those under 35? What does it say about their parenting? That's a fair point. I can't dispute that. Spaces says NFL old man with that mustache. NBA, not NFL, NBA. Shout out to my dog Spaces. I appreciate you. Let me spin the block real quick. All right, so we got a couple of things that I want to go over, and I want to get to the money. The first thing that I want to get to is an NFL paycheck. So recently over the weekend or over last week, a lot of people were making this thing go viral because one of the wide receivers, of course, we had the NFL draft and stuff. And so a lot of people are starting to sign their deals and things, but it's a lot of conversation around money, especially over the fact that recently the Biden administration is releasing information as far as new taxes as being levied against people that make a lot of money and all of that. And a lot of times people always classify themselves as millionaires, and I make this much money and all of that, right? And so there was a post that went viral on the internet that basically broke down what the new highest paid wide receiver's salary was going to be, but how much that he actually kept. And I thought that Cam Newton will be a good example because he did a recent video or a live stream where he basically broke down what NFL athletes really make after they say that they get into the bag, all right? So make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. We're going to get into this video.
All right, Peggy, what we got? Newton's Law, main segment.
Cut the pie down, bro. All the money they're saying you have really don't. It's not like that. So Newton's Law, man. Taxes and a breakdown of the NFL, man. This is how they're breaking the contracts down. Amon-Ra St. Brown said, just became the highest paid wide receiver 4 years, $120 million.
Shout out to the Lions. Shout out to the Lions, spending that bag, making sure that we prepare ourselves for next year, running it up. Yeah, I think we're going for a Super Bowl next year. Completely irrelevant. Let's continue.
Here's how much he will actually earn. $30 million salary every year. So let's break this down. Guys, he started with $30 million.
Mm-hmm.
It took 11.1 M's for the federal tax.
There's some people on the side of the fence and they're going to say, I mean, but you still making $30 million or you still taking home $15 million. Let me tell you something, bro. If you're not concerned about the IRS or it doesn't keep you up at night about how much you're paying in taxes, you have not made enough money. I know that they say, I know the saying is usually, if you don't, I forgot what it is. It's like, if you don't care about money or if you're not concerned about money, you ain't made enough yet or something like that. No, that saying is 100% wrong. It's 100% wrong. Think about this for a second. The federal government didn't have to do a thing. They didn't have to lift a finger. They never lifted a finger. They didn't have to do anything except for make sure that the money machine was turned on. And so whatever it is that you being paid, they gonna take their cut by default. By default. Shout out to Chris James. I appreciate you. I'm definitely gonna be reading that super chat shortly. By default, all they got to do is open up their hands and say, hey, where my $11 million? Let me tell you something, bro. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how much you're taking home. $11 million is a lot of money. That's a lot of money, bro. If you not up at night, the biggest thing that I concern myself with from a business perspective is not how I'm going to grow the platform. It's not how many users. It's not how many views. It's not what this business is going to do. It's not the real estate aspect of it. My biggest thing from a business perspective that keeps me up at night, and the video that I'm actually dropping on the Patreon this weekend, because I dropped one last weekend. Just yesterday, we dropped the video on the Patreon. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat, and I'm going to break it down for y'all in detail. The biggest thing that keeps me up at night, and every single business person that I talk to, is how much money they got to pay in taxes. How much money that we have to pay in taxes. Bro, when you first start getting money, you get finesse. The next time, you start to make adjustments if you're looking at it from a business perspective, because you're like, no, listen, y'all got me the first time, y'all not going to get me the second time. You got me the first time, you're not going to get me the second time. $11.1 million in just federal taxes is insane. And they sit there and tell you that millionaires don't pay their fair share. They pay the majority of the taxes. It's crazy, bro.
They take $900,000 for the agent fee. They take $894,000 for the jock tax.
Agent making $1 million. Every year you get paid, agent making $1 million. A jock's tax is $900,000.
So $703 for FICA,
Medicare, Medicaid.
$637 for the Michigan
Jesus
tax.
Christ.
So obviously it broke them down to 15.7 net income. Cam, can you
you might not even take home half of what you made. Once you get past a certain threshold, you might not even take home half of what you made. I think that that's disrespectful. I think it's ugly. I think it's disrespectful, and I don't agree with it. Let me say it again. I don't agree with it. I think it's ugly. I think it's disrespectful, and it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. It makes me want to cry when I see this actually happening.
Speak to this. Are they really cutting the check like that, though?
Yeah, so let's break it down.
Okay.
All right, and I think a lot of people are ignorant in regards to money and how it's made, okay? So when I look at Amon-Ra St. Brown's 4-year, $120 million contract, 30 mil of that is what he's going to make per year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What people don't also know you're going to get taxed in every state that you play. That's outside of. So the team is going to take that federal tax.
Okay.
But you are responsible for the state tax for all the states that you play.
So break it down.
If they play San Francisco, you got to pay San Francisco tax.
Oh, man. That's why a lot of these places actually be wanting to have teams in their city and in their state. Oh, don't leave, Freaky Jason. Too much money leaving out of here with these NFL teams getting up out of there.
You also got to pay Atlanta tax. Okay, you got to pay Miami tax. Okay, you got to pay Chicago tax. And you got to pay, you got to pay Minnesota tax just in their division. You got to pay Green Bay tax because you're in their division. You got to pay the Vikings tax. Or no, I said Minnesota, Chicago. You got to pay Chicago state tax too. That's, you have to do that. So people don't understand taxes. If anybody wants to understand the simple rule of money, use money. Don't let money use you. It's a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Facts.
That is an unbelievable read. And the rich and wealthy understands that it's not about how much money you make. It's how much money you don't have to spend in taxes.
Yep.
What are you saying, Book? What I am saying is this. So as an entity, Amon-Ra St. Brown is an entity. Okay. So he will have to get all that cut. So you're taking home $15 million, right? But also you got to get taxed with the state tax. Cool. Still a lot of money. But this is the sweet spot. You're making that in 17 weeks. So just do the numbers. For entertainment purposes, can somebody please tell me
$900,000.
$15,700,000.
I don't care. I do not care. I do not care. I don't care how many games, because that doesn't account for all of the time in the training. It doesn't account for everything that went into it. I'm going to make it a short period of time. I don't care. I don't want to give the federal government $11 million. I don't care how long it take me to do it. It's my money, bro. It's my money. I'm never going to justify giving over a bunch of money when I don't have to, legally, to an entity that never had to lift. Listen, at least give me something for it. At least make me feel good. See, at least I can justify it if I got a girl over there or something like that. But good God, you sticking me up just for the sake of saying that I'm here? And you gonna tell me that? Man, listen, bro. Under no circumstance am I justifying this.
Divided by 17.
I said 900,000.
That's how much. Hold on. Let me see the number. So he's going to take home every Tuesday $923,529. And
I don't care.
What is that? 41 cents.
I don't care.
Give or take.
I don't look at it like
that. That's whether he catches 4 touchdowns or drop 4 touchdowns. So even with that, you got to understand, you got a bunch of gimmies that's coming. They coming. What's a gimme, Cam?
Come on now.
You got parents. Hey, gimme. Homeboys, gimme. Homegirls, gimme. Family members, gimme. Partner, Look, tell you something. I would love to use this app for, hey, bro, I want to come support. I want to come to a game. I will send them a link to StubHub.
Okay.
That's how you support.
That's how you support.
You know what I'm saying? Shit, support me? That ain't no plus one. Because then now you say, all right, you got enough money to pay for a suite.
Yeah, can you pay for a suite? You're getting $900K a week.
A week? That's cool. That suite gonna cost you anywhere from about, I would say about $30,000 a game.
Nope. You can't get I don't know what you heard about me. You can't get $1 out of me. I don't know what you heard about me. Unless you bringing into this, you're not getting nothing out of this. Under no circumstances are we negotiating with terrorists out here in these streets. Let me say that one more time for the people that's out here in these streets. Under no circumstances are we negotiating with terrorists. Dog. And he is absolutely right. And I'm not an NFL player, but I will tell you this. People be trying to hit me up. I ain't even gonna lie, man. I'll be getting finessed. I absolutely got finessed. I got finessed with somebody the other day, and I was so mad at myself, and I still sent the money. I got finessed by a family member, multiple family members, and oh my God, Anton, we don't have nobody else to call. And I was like, well, what was you gonna do if it wasn't me? We didn't even think that far. All we know is you. And I looked at Rita, and Rita just put her head down. And I was like, all right. I can't let them lose their crib. I can't let them get kicked out of their house. And then they're going to be like, Anton, man. Listen, bro. But there's ways around this. I know a lot of them not going to teach y'all this. So they're going to just tell you to get that $11 million, that $15 million over to the state and all of this stuff. No, it's ways around that, family. You can finesse that. It's called adjusted gross income. That's your income, what you file on your taxes. The number that they take out is based off of your adjusted gross income. Adjusted gross income. We're going to break it down in the Patreon this weekend. If y'all not bag chasers, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me go ahead and get up out of here because this is disgusting. Shout out to Cam Newton. Shout out to him running it up, taking care of it. But Jennifer says, so what is he supposed to do? Decline the offer? Nope. You have to get smarter, get wiser, understand the tax code, get tax strategists, align yourself with people. Listen, I'll give you an example. And let me tell you why it's so difficult and why I charge corporate America. I don't charge regular bag chasers. I don't charge people that book coaching calls on a regular like that because I just like to help people. But you always got to put a price tag upon it because you don't want to just deal with anybody and you want to make sure that you substantiate your time, right? One of the reasons why it's important to put a number on it is because A, you filter through the people that's actually serious, but B, you basically pay for yourself or more when you get the information. Information is key. Information is everything. It is the thing that is going to separate whether or not you're rich or whether or not you're just a very, very, very high paid employee. Because the information is going to, listen, let's say, for example, you give me, I'm just going to throw a wild number out there, $1,000 an hour, right? Say you give $1,000 an hour. You pay me $1,000 an hour. All right, cool. And it take me 3 hours, 3 sessions in order to break down whatever it is that you need in order to get you the information. Well, guess what? That $3,000 is going to basically translate into you keeping, depending on what your tax bracket is, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 in the first year that you got the information. So somebody will look at me and they will say, well, Anton, why would you charge $1,000 an hour? I don't charge $1,000 an hour, but I'm just having this conversation. Anton, why you charge so much money? Why would you charge $1,000 an hour and you're not even doing nothing? You're just giving them information. Well, because it costs me a whole lot more than that in order to source the information that I'm giving to you. And when you get it, you basically gonna keep in your pocket $100,000. So you telling me you willing to forego $100,000 just because you don't want to pay me $3,000? That's how I see it. And so I see that from that lens as far as how I pay for information as far as my mentors or the people that I'm sourcing. I have no problem with investing in myself. You know why? Because that's going to translate into me making way more money. My investment into myself, into my knowledge, right? This is a multi-million-dollar brain. Why? Because of my life experiences, the amount of money and the amount of information that I source from it. And so that's the reason why it's important for you to not just give it away for free, because they don't value it the same. They will take your pearls and you casting it to swine. they don't even see it. They don't see it as a gem. They see it as just something to play around with. And so they're going to throw it away because they don't value it. But anybody that actually is willing to pay for information, no matter how small that barrier to entry is, you know they're serious about it. And then hopefully, depending on the person that they're aligning themselves with, they get way more value as a result of it. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me read a couple of super chats and then we're going to move over into the last part of the show. JC says, Anton, do the rich have their private police departments, fire, ambulance, hospital, private roads, and bridges? No. So they should pay taxes just like everybody. Actually, they do have their own private everything. So what you don't realize is that when you are in a gated community, you're paying for private security. When you send your kid to private school, that doesn't come out of your taxes, right? The majority of the monies that come out of the people that pay the majority of the taxes, they don't even take advantage of all of the things and the services that they get as a result of it. When I send my child to private school, but you still getting the monies from property taxes in order to pay for you to go to public school, do I get a refund for that? I don't. When I have to pay for high health care coverage, but then I have to go over to a specialist or I have my own surgeon or I'm willing to pay overly the amount that I have to pay in order for you to be able to go to take my Medicare and then you get social services as a result of that, I don't get any money out of that. We overpay for everything that you have, but yet you still complaining about it as a result of it. So miss me. Listen, it ain't never been equal. And it ain't never been a fair share. It should be one flat rate for everybody. One flat rate for everybody. It should not be a sliding scale depending on how much you make so you can rob me and then be able to use it irresponsibly in y'all cities like y'all already doing. You know what's happening? They giving it to the migrant crisis. They selling off y'all streets. They mortgaging your future in order to be able to do things that they otherwise would not have done if they didn't have people like me overpaying in taxes. I create an economy. I add jobs. I add value. I pay people. I have a whole ecosystem based off of what I do. And I don't even remotely use a fraction of the resources that I get as a result of it. Please, if you don't know what you don't know, then don't jump into the mire because this is a conversation that's way outside of your purview. Way outside of your purview. Thank you for the super chat. Should be a flat rate for everybody. Crazy. Chris James is in the... Shout out to Chris James. Chris James says the athletes have to do... Yes, they are W-2 employees. Can they do a 1099? I'm not really sure about whether or not they can be looked at as a 1099 as far as them paying their company. I believe by default they are W-2 employees just like everybody else. Or nah, asking for tax purposes. But here's the thing. It really doesn't matter whether or not they're a W-2 employee or a 1099. The fact of the matter is, regardless, you're still a business. And so the number that you have to look at the end of the rainbow is not whether or not you have to put in a W-2. It's when you put that information in and you look at the adjusted gross income. When you look at the adjusted gross income, that is the number that you have to pay taxes off of. So let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, I work at my regular job and I make $500,000 a year, right? And then I got this business over there and that makes $500,000 a year profit after expenses, right? And then this business over here is something that I'm starting up, or it's a business that I had to put way more into it in order to get it started. And that business actually cost me, or it took me $750,000 in order to get it up off the ground. And so I took that as a loss. Right? So when you take $500,000 here from my regular job and then $500,000 there from that business that was profitable, but then I took a loss of $750,000 at this business and you put it all into a Schedule C. Now, again, that doesn't mean that you're operating as a corporation because it's a completely different conversation as far as how you manage the tax code. And I'm not going to get into this real extensive because I got a Patreon video that I'm dropping on the weekend. And so you got to tap into the bag chasers to get this level of game. But my point is that on a very basic level, $500,000 plus $500,000 is $1 million minus a quarter, $750,000, $750,000. That leaves you with an adjusted gross income of $250,000. So you may have made $500,000 here where you would normally pay $250,000 in taxes, just using a broad number because we're not going into a deep diving. You made $500,000 here, $500,000 there, but then you took a $750,000 loss in order to continue to boost up a business that you're building, and so you still have assets in that building. So your net worth is still going up. Your net worth is going up, right? Because you're pouring into the business that's not profitable yet. That business still has assets, right? Your net worth is going up, but guess what your tax burden is now? It's based off of $250,000 in income. It's not based off of the $500,000 in income. It's not based off of the other $500,000 that you made. It's based off of your adjusted gross income based off of your W-2s and your Schedule Cs. The 1099s feed into the business. You have to look at yourself as a business entity. The adjusted gross income is ultimately the thing that you use to gauge whether or not you actually are supposed to pay this. So let's say all of that money came out of your paycheck. Well, you get the majority of that back depending on what your tax bracket is based off of your adjusted gross income. Your adjusted gross, your AGI is the most important number on your taxes. Your AGI, your adjusted gross income, is the most important number. If I made a bunch here, but I made a bunch there, but then at the same time, I lost a bunch over there, my adjusted gross income, my tax bracket is a $250,000 tax bracket based off of my adjusted gross income. I'm not getting into it. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. When people say they rich, people that understand, look at it based off of your net worth. We don't care about how much money you make. We care about how much money you keep. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. We don't care about how much money you make. We care about how much money you keep. When we go out and we buy certain SUVs and they're above a certain threshold, because I had to buy a car anyway. And so instead of me just buying a regular car like y'all think, I'm going to buy a car over a certain pound or over a certain threshold as far as how heavy it weighs. Because even if I don't own a business, by default, that is my personal car as a tax write-off. So when you see these people and they out here buying G-Wagons, it's not that they buying G-Wagons just because a G-Wagon is the thing to have. They buying it because they like it, and they also get a tax write-off based off of how much it weighs. And so there's so many different ways for you to make money or keep money in your pocket from things that you were already going to do if you understand how the game works. Okay? Tap into the Patreon. We having a conversation this weekend. We going to get to it. We going to get to it. We going to run it up. Let me read one more super chat. If y'all not a part of the Bag Chasers, if you're trying to hold on to your little $15, you're a fool. You're a straight up fool. Shout out to Do the Right Thing. Says, I heard the best nation in the world was donation. So here's to the platform. PS Lions ain't beating your Bears? Oh, no. You know that's a lie. Shout out to Do the Right Thing. I appreciate you, big dog. All right, y'all. We got to get to it because we got one more segment that we got to get to, and then we go from there. All right. Last but not least. So, this woman right here, we did a review video on her, and she was saying that she had moved from Vancouver. And I always like to follow up, and I'm going to also make sure I put a link in the description back to her YouTube channel in order for y'all to be able to subscribe to her channel and show her some love. Her name was Hannah Wu. It's right there. She got 7.75 subscribers. It looked like it's went up. Congratulations to her. 7.75, all right? She did a video where she was basically saying that she was a software engineer for Microsoft. I don't know why she would say where she works, considering that she's a content creator now, but that's one of the mistakes of these younger content creators that don't know any better. I made that mistake earlier in my career too, but we'll get there. She made a video that was saying that she was moving from Vancouver over to California. One of the cities I believe that she had moved to was LA. So that she can go into the office, have a more complete life, and hopefully make some friends and all of that, right? What she decided to do when she went and looked at the prices over there in LA and stuff was she decided to live in her car. So I don't know how much she makes, but she's a software engineer, works at Microsoft. I'm assuming that she get in the bag. She was having problems making friends. She was lonely out here in these streets. And so now the most recent video that she released basically talks about how much it costs for her to be able to survive, why she's living in her car, and how she still has 0 friends. I have not seen this video. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description, and then go and check out her channel. Let's check it out, y'all.
No, my monthly expense is like zero.
I don't like the music, but we gonna roll with it. Heck no, I can't do it, bro. That's called homelessness.
It's 5 a.m. I woke up so many times last night because of the rain. Can you hear it? Oh my god, this is so loud. Wake up maybe like 5-6 times. I think it's very hard to sleep in my car when it's raining. I see the weather forecast says it's gonna like continue raining like this for 3 more days. Okay, anyway, I think I'm going to the office. I'm going to get ready because the office earlier.
Listen, I'm just not built for it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I admire people that are willing to make the ultimate sacrifice. And at times in my life, I was willing to make what I would think would be the ultimate sacrifice, and that I was willing to move back into my parents' cribs and all of that when I went broke and stuff. But I admire people that's willing to live in a car. I do. I mean, I guess you would do whatever you have to do, but they don't have to do it, and that's why I admire them, because they actually voluntarily choosing to do it because they don't want to pay the expensive amounts that's happening over in California. Boy, if you're able to live in a Tesla, I just can't. I can't. I don't even like being in an RV, let alone living in my car.
I came to California for the sunshine, so the frequent rain really caught me off guard. Because I park on the street every night, sleeping in my car becomes very tough when it rains. Even more challenging though is finding a safe place to park each day.
And she got that big old dog in there.
In the beginning, I spent
Listen, I can't look. It's a lot of things that I would take if I was a single guy and I was dating. One thing that I'm unwilling to deal with from women, a deal breaker. One thing that I would be unwilling to deal with as a deal breaker is a woman that has animals. I can't. I don't believe in furry friends. I don't believe in none of that. That is, for me personally, that's a deal breaker.
Hour every night.
And that's the benefit. That's the other side of it, is that, well, the money that she would normally, and I don't have nothing negative to say about it. I just can't personally do it. The other side of it is that it actually saves her, and which in her case, she basically is able to deposit that. That's an extra $50,000 a year. Actually, it's more than that. She makes an extra $50,000 a year by not spending it on housing. Well, how is it more than $50,000? Well, 4,000 times 12 is 48, right? So you go times 10, 4,000 times 10 is 40, plus another 4 is $48,000. Well, you also don't have any expenses related to heating, you know what I'm saying, furniture, cooling, air conditioner, water, none of that stuff. So, you know, you basically saving the equivalent of over $50,000 a year by living in your car. I'm just willing to spend the money if I got it. So it's a little different for me.
No, my monthly expense is like zero, right? Zero. Hold on a second. What was my cost of living before? I used to think I needed to maintain a certain lifestyle. Living in an ocean view apartment in Vancouver, staying at 5-star resorts, on vacations, always in the VIP seats at every game and concert. My weekends, they were packed with events I considered fancy. But then I fell seriously ill and have been fighting it for the last 2 years. At one point, I almost didn't make it. That's when I hit a pause on my life and started questioning everything I was chasing. What am I actually doing with my life? Despite all the glamour, I was living paycheck to paycheck.
Well, that's where the problem comes in, ladies and gentlemen, because look, you can't, and this is where there's no balance with people. a lot of times. They have a life experience, and then they go all the way to the left, and they say, well, listen, now I'm about to live in my car because stuff don't matter. No, you got to have a middle road in there, bro. Like, you got to adjust to your life. Maybe you can go to the games, but you don't have to live in the VIP section, and then you be living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you can go to a concert, but you don't have to go to the VIP section. Or maybe you don't have to go to a Taylor Swift concert. Listen, it's plenty of local concerts that you can go into, and I go to them all the time. That's one of my guilty pleasures. I'm not about to give y'all the game or where I be at. But a lot of the local spots and the local concerts, man, it don't even be costing but $13, $15 to get in. And you just go in there and you have a good time, and it'd be way more engaging and way better. You go to a local artist or some traveling band or something like that, and it'd be dope, bro. It'd be dope. Or you just go, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to spend a lot of money to have fun. And that's the thing that people don't understand. And so, you know, now, because I can afford it because of the way that my life is set up, you know, the way that my checking and savings is set up, I could do certain things. But then at the same time, I think that people think that just because you out, you got to do it and you got to spend a lot of money doing it. That's not true, bro. That's not true. You can get really good seats. You can go to a game. You can do all of this other stuff, and it doesn't require you to live paycheck to paycheck. Her problem isn't necessarily that she was going to events. It was the fact that she couldn't really afford to do the things that she was doing. And because she made a decent salary, she was still living paycheck to paycheck. And that's why I tell y'all, a lot of these people that make over six figures, they still live in paycheck to paycheck because they adjust their lifestyle, right, with whatever it is that their salary is.
And barely had any genuine friend. I realized that none of the material things or status symbols mattered. I was trapped in this endless loop of earning and spending, and I wanted to get out.
Now I understand the goal of my life. I was trying to find what's the meaning of my life. It's not like how much money I make, it's how free I felt. I kind of want to test it out to see how long I can hold on to this lifestyle and to see how sustainable it is. Right now, I feel it's pretty sustainable. Like, I have food at my work Monday to Friday. On the weekends, I just buy some fruits or just fast it. I have gym at work, which I can just shower stuff and I can work out, right? Basically, that's all I need. I feel I don't need anything.
I began getting into a routine and actually found some comfort.
Morning, Halo.
That's how y'all become cat ladies, bro.
Every day, I get up around 5 or 6 a.m. and head to work. I spend most of my day at the office, but I also look for ways to enjoy life. I got a movie pass, and Halo and I go watch a movie every week.
That's dope.
Slowly, I feel like...
Wait. They let your dog in the movie theaters? Your dogs can come in. That's a LA. That's a California thing, I'm assuming.
I have adapted to leaving my car. But despite my efforts to keep a routine similar to a typical lifestyle, I'm still struggling to make friends at work. I try to set up lunch with coworkers, but
This is my lunch. I got two naan bread, one apple. I was supposed to meet another girl I met at the office for lunch, but then we said meet at 12 o'clock, so I messaged her at 11:50, say let's meet in front of the cafeteria, right? But she's like, I wasn't feeling so well, so I haven't come to the office yet. To be honest, I did feel a little bit disappointed, not because we couldn't meet, but because of how she responded, right?
When she get a man, she gonna be all in. She gonna be all, let me tell you, bro, when she get a man, she gonna be all in. It ain't gonna be nothing that man can do wrong. She gonna be holding on. She gonna be emotionally attached to him. Nothing, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over. Because when a man finally show interest with her, I wonder why guys don't pick these type of chicks. When it comes to responsibility and how she moving or whatever, and the fact that she, like, if I'm a guy and you a guy at work, why wouldn't you pick this type of chick? I don't know why y'all wouldn't pick her. Like, she seems like a responsible person. She's smart. She got a decent job. She probably gonna be super dedicated to you and all of this stuff. Why don't guys pick this type of woman? Why do they pick something else?
I would appreciate more if she could send me a message in the morning saying that she won't be able to make it, right? Another day, something similar happened with another guy I met here. He's like, oh, let's go grab lunch on Monday. I said, sure. But then Monday noon, he never reached out. I think it's so hard to make friends. And also, I think maybe because also I have certain maybe like standard or expectation on people. For example, as I mentioned, I would prefer people to reach out before the meetup
I don't
to
think that that's
confirm the
unreasonable.
time.
Listen, we might fly her out for the Millionaire Morning Show. Maybe we'll fly her out and have her on the black couch back there. You see the black couch? See the black couch over there? Maybe we'll fly her out, see if nope, can't bring the dog. Gotta put the dog in the doggy hotel. Maybe we'll fly her out, bring her out for the Millionaire Morning Show and see how everything is happening. See how everything play out. I don't know. But shout out to her again. Her name is Hannah Wu. And y'all can go and check her out and check out her platform and see what's happening in these streets, man. Let me read a few more super chats and then we're going to get y'all up out of here for the day. Commencement says, I have a feeling she'll be a homeowner. You see, the Asian people work on a 5-year plans of living broke before they make their financial moves. That's what it seemed like she's doing. No, because she was just saying that she was living paycheck to paycheck. So I don't believe that. I don't think that that's what her perspective was. BizQ says a lot of young people will just rent beds in a house in the Bay Area. Bed could be in a dining room, a bunk bed, etc. is getting rented for $500. Let me go and get that money and set up something over there in the Bay Area. A.R. Smitty says, I thought your guilty pleasure was drinking fruity drinks. The fruity drinks and from whiskey glasses. All right, so let me let y'all in on the joke why that's so relevant. Over the weekend, I was chilling and I was at a restaurant and Rita had ordered this drink and it was like some fruity shrimp champagne drink or whatever. And she was like, you want some? And I said, no, I don't want none or whatever. And she was like, just get some, just get some. And so she said, look, she was like, Anton, listen, this is what you should do. And I said, I can't be drinking no drink with all of that fruity junk in it and that color in it. Because I'm sitting at the bar at J. Alexander's. And she said, just order you some and have them put it in a whiskey glass. Man, that drink was so good. It was slapping. First thing I did was I went to X, formerly known as Twitter and Threads. And I said, listen, my guilty pleasure is getting fruity drinks that I like, fruity alcoholic drinks, and having them put them in a whiskey glass so that they don't be embarrassing me out here in these streets. I don't need y'all judging me. If y'all not following me on Instagram, I be going live on Instagram pretty regularly now. If y'all not following me on Instagram, TikTok, X, formerly known as Twitter and Threads and all of that, the link is down in the description. So AR Smitty think he got jokes. Okay, all right. I see you, big dog. Common Man 80 says she'll probably outright own $1 million home in 4 years. I would love to see how she's doing in 5, but that's the Asian business plan. It works, Anton. Oh, you talking to the choir. You talking to a person that stayed down for 10 years. I believe in staying down. Do the right thing says, where she at? I got a backyard for her dog to roam free. Come on over yonder. Nonan says, you'd probably only see a chick like her at work. That's a no-go zone for dating. No, you just see her on the streets. She's sleeping in her Tesla. Just knock on her window. Excuse me, Hannah Wu. Can you come out? Great Way says, nah, bro, don't do it. She's gonna squatter rights on the black couch. We could fix that. Don't worry about it. Listen, y'all trying to get me into an after hours conversation, and I'm not gonna do it. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on the face of the earth. Let me read a couple more super chats, and then I'm gonna get y'all out of there. Chris Monroe, ACL St. Louis says, it amazes me that a woman will do all this before choosing a decent man. She probably feels like no man is good enough. I don't know about that. She trying everything that she can. I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to try to get her on the live stream. I'm going to contact her. Kay Cooper says, and Anton, you are Barbs. Oh, my God. Now y'all listening to Mika. Don't listen to Mika. Mika over there talking about she had Nicki Minaj playing in my car and turned my ambiance to pink. That's not true. Shout out to Messi. Shout out to all of y'all that's in the chat. Yakar, all of my friends and family. I appreciate y'all. Listen, Q show tonight. Q show tonight. We going to get it in. I dropped the video on the Patreon this past weekend. I'm dropping another one this weekend. And we got Stock Club this week. I'm going to keep y'all up to date on that. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on the face of this earth. Shout out to Tiege Hanley. Make sure y'all get that Tiege Hanley. The link is in the description. 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life and a free gift. All right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. See y'all tonight. Peace.